Hi, my name is Joe Mangan, and this is MyHIP. I know you said in the instructions not to do this project on your parents unless they've done something truly heroic, but I think by the end of this presentation you'll agree that that's the case here. So I did my presentation on my father. For some context, I grew up in Lakewood, Ohio, suburb just outside of beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, which I represented here in a lovely mosaic. Now, a famous spot around Cleveland is right here, St. Malachy Parish. St. Malachy is famous for its homeless outreach, providing food and clothing, other necessities to the homeless population of Cleveland. It's located just outside of downtown Cleveland in a poor or bad neighborhood. As a kid, my dad would stop by St. Malachy's quite a lot, not to volunteer, but to do his own sort of community outreach. This picture here shows a back lot of the church where, at any time of day, really, especially nighttime, a large amount of homeless people can be found. And so my dad went there to reach out to this community. A classic example is we would go out to dinner one night and I would eat everything but my fries. And so my dad would say, "Oh, let's go for a ride." And he'd box up the fries and we'd go for a ride. And he'd stop by the church and he'd pull up by a group of homeless guys and ask, "Hey, who wants some fries?" And, you know, someone would excitedly take a box of cold fries and he'd say to me, "You see that? You see how happy someone was to get a box of cold fries? Would you eat cold fries?" That was a At the time I didn't realize it, but that was a pretty important lesson. So my dad did more than just give away cold fries. He actually would help certain individuals turn their lives around, and there's two in particular I'd like to talk about. The first one is a guy named Stone, who he actually lived under this bridge right here for so many years that people said he was cold as a stone, hence his nickname. The other is a guy named Sugar Bear, and if you asked him, "Hey, why do they call you Sugar Bear?" he'd tell you, "You know that box of cereal, Golden Crisp? You know the bear on there, Sugar Bear? Well, I'm darker than him, so I'm the real Sugar Bear." And Sugar Bear was right. He was a man with a very dark complexion, who was very tall, very solidly built, very rough exterior. But beneath that was a gentle giant, a kind man, who just happened to struggle with addiction, namely crack and alcohol. But growing up, Sugar Bear would be over at my house, 2, 3 weekends a month, helping my dad around the house, yard work, whatever, and then staying for dinner. But he never ate at the table with us, not because he wasn't allowed to, he didn't want to. He liked to go sit in our basement and watch our old wood paneled TV because he got to watch whatever he wanted to watch. He got to be in control of his environment for once. That was something very special to him. My dad took him to AA meetings to help him with the addiction and just tried to give him, a bit of a sense of purpose. Um, Eventually, Sugar Bear did kick the crack, but his alcoholism progressed to a point where a family member he was staying with at the time called my dad once and said, "Hey, something's wrong with Sugar Bear. He can't get up. He can barely talk. He needs to go to the hospital, but he won't." So my dad says, "Put him on the phone." Now my father can be very persuasive, using a manner in which I can't repeat here, but uh, the point is, my dad was the only person Sugar Bear trusted enough to take his word that, okay, I need to go to the hospital. I need to do something about this. And it's a good thing he did because he was suffering from alcohol poisoning, and he likely would have died had he not gone to the hospital when he did. Since then, he became very serious about giving up alcohol, and my dad helped him through that process with AA, and Sugar Bear hasn't had a drop of liquor in a decade. Stone, Stone's a different story. Stone has some undiagnosed mental issues, and when he's not smoking crack and when he's taking his medications, he does all right for himself. But after 20 years, my dad knows that with every good streak comes a fall. And my dad says lately He's just always waiting for the shoe to drop. He still does try to help Stone here and there, but Stone's kind of a lost cause. It seems like he needs the life that he lives. But having gotten to know Stone for 20 something years, my dad's gotten to know Stone's family, and now he more so helps out Stone's 86-year-old mother, who still has to be the matriarch and take care of her many family members. So, what, these experiences and knowing these people, how has that helped me become a hero in training? Well, from an early age, my dad took me to bad neighborhoods, places my mom probably wouldn't want me to go, where I interacted with the homeless and with the poor and with drug addicts and alcoholics. And it really, it humanized these groups of people to me. Growing up in a white, well-off suburb, um, it showed me other ways of life, and that this isn't a sort of us and them situation. They are people like us who just need help. They just need someone to listen to. And if you can be that person that helps out, or you can be that person to just give them 5 minutes to listen to what they have to say, that can make a world of difference to someone on the edges of society. That's it.